Yo, what is up YouTube? And welcome to a Lost Sword video. This game just released today on Global. It's been out in Korea for about 6 months now and has been pretty successful. And it finally launched on Global, NA, and EU. And it's a pretty fun game. It's kind of like an idle game where you can collect waifus, and it's actually pretty addicting, honestly, because one, there's no energy limit, so you can actually play as much as you want. And two, even if you don't invest that much time, it's a great game to play on the side. So basically, there's a ton of characters that you can reroll for, and the reroll process is pretty simple. It takes about 10 minutes. All you guys really need to do is play through the story and the tutorial for about 10 minutes up until level 10, where you will unlock the mailbox, and it will prompt you to go to the mailbox and collect your rewards. Then after that, you can start summoning with your crystals and your summon tickets. Now, in terms of what characters you're going to want to go for, there's a ton of 5-star characters in this game. And a really good thing about rerolling is that the rates for 5 stars are super good. So you're going to be summoning on this banner, primarily the character summon banner. And you're going to see that the rates for 5-star is 3%. However, there are certain ones that you're going to want to go for, especially for progressing through the late game. And you will eventually get every single character. They do give you a ton of crystals for free, diamonds for free, which you can use to summon. But for the most part, starting off with 1 or 2 strong 5 stars will definitely give your account a boost. Now, there's going to be 5-star characters that I recommend rolling for and at least getting one of them. The first one is going to be Merlin. Merlin's a very good damage dealing support. She actually has a crit damage buff to her team here. You can see a crit chance buff rather, and she does very significant damage. Pretty good. She also has a freeze, which is very nice, which will stun the enemies basically. It makes her a very strong AoE freeze support. Pretty much the top tier range DPS right now. Next up on the list is going to be Lancelot. Now, Lancelot's a very good drain tank because she can basically sit in the front and she does a ton of damage while also absorbing the health of the enemies. You can see, her ultimate ability will basically absorb health, which makes her super, super good. Definitely one of the best characters, if not the best, for late game PvE content. So definitely a strong character to get. Next one you're going to want to go for is Dian. Dian is probably the best healer if you're running a knight composition, because if you look at her ultimate, the first effect is that she will buff knight's melee attack by 110% and make them do 19% additional damage. It will heal everyone else, but you're going to see that she's a very good healer, but she specializes in a knight composition, which, spoiler alert, Lancelot is, so pairing them together is very good. And even the character you get for free, Elizabeth, is as well, which makes them a very good pairing. Now, there's going to be 2 other characters that I don't have that are very good. The first one is going to be Tiamat. She's the best damage dealer currently. She just does a crap ton of damage. And if you're looking for someone that just, destroys bosses or wants to destroy bosses, she is going to be your best bet. She is a wizard, so ranged damage is insane. And then the next one is going to be another knight or tank here in Galahad. Galahad's a very, very good tank. She is pretty much not like Lancelot where she's drain tanking, but she basically just purely absorbs damage, which makes her very good. She even has an effect that gives damage immunity, and she buffs wizards and archers. So these are the 5 characters that I recommend rerolling for. Now, I'm sure you noticed looking at some of them like Dian and Galahad that there are some synergies. So there's actually going to be an even better way to reroll if you're looking for the best start possible. Now, the best start, in my opinion, will include Merlin in both of them, but there's going to be 2 routes that you can go. The first one is Lancelot and Dian. That's what I went for. This is because Lancelot is a really good drain tank knight in the front, and because she's a drain tank, she actually does pretty good damage. And if you pair her with Dian, who actually buffs knights, it makes her do even more damage. This pairing is super strong, especially in the late game. So if you're looking for a very good reroll, Lancelot and Dian together are going to be super good. The second one is actually going to be the combination I didn't go for. It's going to be Tiamat and Galahad. And the reason is because Galahad buffs Tiamat's damage, and also she's a strict damage soaking character, and Tiamat is a strict damage dealing character, making it so that they synergize very, very well. Even though you won't have a healer that you pulled for, you get a free to play healer in, I think her name is Guinevere. Yes, you get her for free, and she's pretty decent in the early game. She heals pretty well. She also has a revive, which is very good. So yeah, these are the 2 basic compositions that most people are rerolling for. It's either Tiamat and Galahad together, or it's going to be the one I have with Dian and Lancelot. And now Merlin, if you get her, she's a bonus to every single comp. She is a little bit better in the Tiamat Galahad comp, but she's still very good in the Lancelot and Dian comp because of the fact that she does so much damage and she buffs your team. Now, if you don't want to roll for 2 specific 5 stars because it can get tedious, it is fine because later on in the game, once you actually get to summon a bit more, you will get a Selector ticket. You can see that I already purchased it, and this is literally day 1 of playing, and you get this Selector ticket, and you can basically select any 5 star that you want. And that makes it so that even if you only roll for one of these characters, let's say I just rolled for Lancelot, then you can actually select or Dian later and have your core composition that way. Or if you roll for something like a Tiamat or you got, Galahad, you can select the other one and then basically have your core team comp there as well. And you can have Guinevere as your healer as well there because she's free to play. The game gives you a ton of characters though, so if you do find an account that you like because you get a ton of 5 stars, feel free to keep it. Some of the characters, even though they're not that great on tier lists, you can actually get dupes of them, and basically what you can do is turn them into cards. And when you turn their dupes into cards, some of them are very good. Lilith, for example, is super good because she has this critical hit resistance debuff that she puts on enemies, which makes them take a ton more damage. So, if you get an account with a lot of 5 stars, it's up to you if you want to keep it or go for the quote-unquote god tier combo. All in all, this game is pretty free-to-play friendly. Of course, whales will be able to progress super quickly because you can just spend a lot of money on the shop, which actually has pretty good packs on sale for whales to progress. But if you're looking for a good side game or like a good game to play, even as a main game, if you want to invest a lot of time into it, this is definitely very good. There's idle factor into it, so you can actually farm while you're not playing, and the progression is pretty streamlined. There's a lot of quests that will help you out. Now I'll show you guys the reroll process on my alt tier, and you can see how it actually plays. So this is pretty much my alt that I have finished leveling to level 10 and unlock the mailbox and claim the rewards. Now you can actually reroll. So the way you want to reroll is you just go to character summon here. You're going to have a ton of gems as well. Also, you want to make sure that you go to the event tab and pretty much claim all of these rewards that are given to you just by being new to the game. And you're going to go summon, and you can go for basically any of the characters, any of the combinations that I mentioned. Really up to you how long you guys want to reroll. But basically, just having one of the good characters is fine, and you're going to get about 30 some summons here. And you can see I did get a 5-star already because the rates are super good, and I get Rhea, which is a pretty decent healer, but definitely not necessary because we already get a healer. I think I get a couple more summons. You can see I get another 5-star, so you're going to get a couple of 5 stars every single reroll unless you get super unlucky. And you're going to see that this is going to be the end of the reroll here. Is this a 5-star? No. So the characters I did end up getting were not the top tier ones. I did get Ran and Rhea, but they're still good. So if I was to play this game seriously, then I would probably reroll this. It doesn't take that long, and probably go for Tiamat or Lancelot, Merlin, something like that. Or even Galahad, right, or Dian, right, some of the combinations there. But pretty much it for this video though, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are playing this game. I'm kind of just playing it for fun, and it seems pretty interesting so far, and I might keep playing it in the future.